Welcome to AlphaCars and Motorcycles. My name is Dmitry, and I'm here with Darrell.
Hi, everybody.
And we're going to show you one really awesome motorcycle, and that's a Ural two-wheel drive.
Huh?
Darrell, for those of you that don't know, two-wheel drive.
Two-wheel drive, sidecar wheel driven.
I was going to say, what should they expect? Two-wheel drive motorcycle?
A lot of fun in the dirt and the snow.
Yep.
You can go about anywhere you want to go with this rig.
So we have one awesome bike out there. We're going to take you right to it. Thanks for watching. So we're checking these three Urals, and we have the
Slate gray.
slate gray, right? This is a nice color. By the way, Darrell is our motorcycle specialist, and I'm sure he has a sales call. You're not going to take that, Darrell?
I should.
You should.
Yeah.
Go ahead, take that. So while Darrell is taking his sales calls, it is very busy with motorcycle sales because we have awesome, unbelievable discounts, better than awesome, on Royal Enfield motorcycles. Check them out. And Ural discounts like never before. Just click that alphacars.com website. You'll be amazed at what we're offering for discounts and the bike selection. And we're very serious when it comes to sales. This is an important video. And as you can see, Darrell took his sales call because the customer is number one for us, for real. So while we're waiting for Darrell, we're gonna get to this bike because this video is gonna be about this bike. We're gonna mention this beautiful color. This is one of the new colors, and it's called Garnet Red. I wanted to make sure that's what the color is. And it actually has a different shade of red under different lighting condition. It's kind of dusk now, and it looks unbelievable. It has like almost stainless steel reflection off of it. And then I would say this is one of the most popular colors, the olive green. So this is very popular, and this is the bike that usually people buy in this color and put tons of accessories on this bike. You can put a lot of accessories on Urals. So we have a website for accessories. It's called Ural and E, Ural and for new, E for England, .com. So check that out if you haven't been there. It's incredible. A lot of the accessories we learn from our customers. That we see what they've done with their bikes and we learn from it. Some of them we improved. A lot of accessories we designed from ground up. You name it, it's all there. And I know that if you have the Ural, you'll have a blast. If you don't have the Ural, you'll have a blast and you would want to get a Ural. So check that out. This is the bike, it's 2022. As we're doing this video, this bike is available for sale, and it has what we call fully loaded from the factory customization standpoint. Factory customization is important because if it's not done at the factory, it cannot really be done on the same level. For example, this bike has factory applied undercoating. So technically you can do it to a bike. You'd have to take it all apart and you'd have to tape a lot of things. You can do it, but it's not going to be, certainly not as cost efficient, and the quality is not going to be as it is here because the factory applied undercoating is done before the finish is applied. So it actually looks pretty and it works. Like if we get a close-up on the undercoating on the tub, and you can see the line right here. Let's check it out on the side. You can see the undercoating is embedded under the paint layer, and the way this it's undercoating, but technically it's a chip guard. And the way the chip guard works, it's designed to be a soft gasket between the hard metal and the paint. So when the rock hits it, the paint doesn't crack because the paint is not between the hard metal and the rock. The paint is between the soft chip guard and the rock. So the rock usually bounces off and the paint is not damaged. So this is not just undercoating. This is actually a chip guard properly applied on the factory applied paint. This is how it's done on a lot of European cars. And it's done on the Ural motorcycles, and it's done on this bike on all three fenders and on the underside of the sidecar. What else? It has a custom color, and another nice feature, it does have a little compartment here on top of the gas tank. And there's a tiny little key for a little compartment, and I'm going to show it to you. And you can see it's about 2.5 inches deep, and it's probably, so this is the average iPhone. You cannot put it sideways, but you can certainly fit it in there. And it's a nice compartment for quick access for things. And yes, you can lock it. And that's what I'm doing now. Oops, here it is. So, what else on this motorcycle? We do have a black powder-coated drivetrain. And the black powder-coated drivetrain is actually quite important. And just like anything, you can powder coat anything, but if it's done at the factory, it is all the components, you can see all the components are powder coated separately before the assembly takes place. So if you look at the gaskets, like even the timing cover gasket against the engine block, you can see the gasket there, you can see all the hardware. So each component was powder coated, and then everything was assembled after the fact. And you can only do it in the factory environment. So it's important to, if you plan on having the drivetrain, which means engine, transmission, and the final drive, they're all powder coated. That's better be done at the factory, because there's no way it can be done. Theoretically, anything can be done, but certainly not what I've described individually. Not cost efficiently. So this bike does have the factory powder coating on all these components. This is a 2022 model, so it does have factory 2-in-1 high mount exhaust. So check this out. And this is an incredibly solid and durable construction. And everything from the, look at this bead of weld, it's a piece of art, just the way it's done. Look at the engineering of the heat shield and how it's mounted. And not to mention this one, but the 90-degree bent heat shield is, you can tell how it is engineered, and not to mention how the engineering ideas are implemented in this beautifully manufactured and assembled exhaust system. And also, if we can spend another moment on the exhaust system, look at the size of the bracket, the way that the mufflers mount. Obviously, muffler does have vibrations from the engine, so the way the mounting is engineered and implemented is very important. So you can see that there are vibration absorbing mounts and heavy duty brackets that mount the muffler to the bike. And then of course we will mention disc brakes. We're looking at a Brembo calipers. We're looking at the floating rotors. Let's look at the front brake, and I'm gonna tell you a few interesting facts about the front brake system on the Ural. Yes, it's a 4-piston caliper. You can see 2 on the inside, 2 on the outside. And then you look at the brake rotor, and when I say floating rotor, you're going to see the braking part of the part of the rotor that has braking surface, and of course it's cross drilled. But then you have these bushings, and what these bushings do, they separate this part of the rotor with the base of the rotor. And what it does is, when the rotor gets really hot, it may get warped. And when rotors get warped, they generate vibrations that transmit onto the front suspension and on the steering bar, and it's very uncomfortable. So these floating rotors reduce those vibrations substantially. It is essentially a true racing design rotor. And of course, when the brake rotor cools off, it goes back to the normal straight geometry, and at that point there shouldn't be any vibrations. But during those times when the rotor may generate vibrations, those floating rotors are a big deal. Furthermore, about engineering of the bike, we're looking at the leading fork front suspension. Check that out. So let me show you something really cool about this suspension. Look at how it works. And also the shocks are adjustable. You adjust them on both sides. There are heavy-duty bushings, and these pivoting points, they actually have roller bearings, which is pretty amazing. But what is really amazing is how the suspension behaves during the stopping. Because usually on the motorcycle, when you hit your front brakes, the nose dives a little bit, and the good bikes have less diving effect, and average bike will dive a bit more. But with Ural, I want to show you this. There is absolutely no diving. Like when we slow down, and we can get the camera on this side so you can see front suspension, and I'm going to get the bike started. And it's cold, so we'll give it a minute. And yes, they do have parking brake. So parking brake on, parking brake off, 1 down, 3 up, so it's a 4-speed forward and 1 reverse. So combined you have 5 gears, 4 forward, 1 reverse. Dry clutch, nice to operate. And I'm gonna pull it up here, and then I'm gonna put it in reverse. And then I'm gonna go forward and hit the brake real hard, and under normal, with normal suspension, telescopic forks, you'll see front end dive, and watch what happens with this front end. First gear. It didn't dive a bit. You may say, well, that wasn't enough speed, so I'll pick up a little bit more speed, we'll put it in reverse, and I'll try to stop right by Ian. Not in front of him, but on the side. So I'll pick up a little bit more speed, and we actually can lock up the front wheel. It's no problem. It's cold, so it's going to lock up early. With these bikes, you can lock all 3 wheels, and that's no problem. See that front end? It didn't dive like not even half an inch, nothing. So to put it in reverse, when you're in forward, you can actually just activate the reverse by pushing on the back part of that pedal. And once in reverse, to put it in forward, you do need to push the forward part of that pedal, and now you can push it back into first gear. So I'm going to back it back in. And the Darrell is back.
Hi, everybody.
He helped another customer who probably was watching the YouTube video.
He was from Michigan.
From Michigan?
Yeah, calling me from Michigan about a Royal Enfield.
Oh, about Royal Enfield,
yeah.
Yes. And I know you had a couple that traveled. They picked up, they bought, which bike did they buy?
The recent couple.
Yeah, for the sidecar.
This.
Oh, they bought that bike.
This one is sold.
Oh.
So anybody was considering this one, got to get you another one. This one's going home.
That's fine. We can get you another one.
That's right. It's not a problem.
So, are they getting any accessories for
Yeah,
it?
they're installing the 2 windshields. They're getting the Ural medium windshield, which is what I highly recommend.
Yeah.
Fits the bike very nicely, and the full-size sidecar windshield.
Yeah. And those, I think, 2 most, if you were to name 5 most popular accessories, what would you say people get for Ural motorcycles?
I would say first off, the 2 windshields.
Yep.
The heated grips.
Heated grips. Yep.
Hand guards.
Hand guards. Yep.
And let's see. The other thing. Well, that's a tough one. I said the other thing. I had a lot of people that actually get the winch.
The winch is popular. Yeah.
Winch is very popular, and on the older ones that didn't have the 2-in-1, that was a popular system. But now the new ones have it. So yeah, I'd probably say those are the most popular add-ons off the top of my head.
Well, as far as Ural accessories, if you already own a Ural, and if yours is pre-20...
2022, so anything 2021 back.
That's right. We do have those really awesome 2-in-1 high mount exhausts. And in my opinion, those could be a little more desirable than these because they have no catalytic converters.
No catalytic converters. It's a
Yeah.
GPR, so it's not. It's a great brand. You can get it in the stainless or the black.
Yeah.
I like the stainless because it's easy to take care of, but there is no cats, so the flow's better. It increases the horsepower. It lightens the motorcycle up. It increases the ground clearance. So a lot of pluses to it.
For full disclosure, those ones that don't have catalytic converters, they're for off-road use
Correct.
only. So watch out for those disclosures when you order one, but if you do, you will not regret it. It's an amazing system.
And the bike sounds better with it on there too.
It sounds awesome. Those sounds great. Speaking of sounds, there's another accessory that I know we sell a lot of. It's the air horn.
Yes, that's a very desirable accessory as well. A lot of people ask about the horn on the motorcycle because, you know, it's a safety feature.
It is. And we have one that is very, very, very loud. And it's instant because with air horns, when you have the compressor and you have the actual horn, there's usually a little line that connects them. So there's always a little delay because when you activate it and the air compressor is going,
Pump things
it has
up.
to build up pressure in the air line and then the horn, so there's a split delay. We actually have a direct drive compressor, which means the compressor is situated on the horn. It's instant. So when
And
you
it's
press
very,
it,
very compact too.
Yeah.
So it doesn't take up very much space on a motorcycle. It's easy to install.
so we can talk about Urals and accessories, and most importantly about people that ride Urals. That is a very special category. It is people that we very thankful, but we can talk a lot about all these things. So we do need to wrap up the video, but if you want to learn more about Ural Motorcycles and about AlphaCars and Ural Motorcycles Company, subscribe to the channel and be informed. Also, share this video, share other videos, and we thank you for viewing this video. Darrell, is there anything else you want to say to those people that bought motorcycles from us and from you?
If you're thinking about buying a bike, don't waste your time. I mean, don't waste your time thinking about it. Do it. I talked to so many people that are saying they've been looking at bikes for years. Time's too short. Do it now.
That's a great point. And we are the place to buy your motorcycle, to buy your Ural motorcycle, Royal Enfield motorcycle, to buy a pre-owned motorcycle, and certainly to buy a nice car. So thank you for your business, for those that gave us, and please consider giving us your business for those that are still looking forward to getting a motorcycle. Darrell, thank you. Ian, thank you. And thank you for viewing.
Thank you.